I have already shared the slide. Are you able to see the slide? Anyone respond?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
in between, if you see that slide is not visible, just inform me, and not just put comment on the comment box. Inform me by voice so that I will do something. I will arrange it. Okay, fine. Then I'm going to start today's tutorial. We are coming to outline of today's tutorial. So very uh, what I'm not going to cover other commands for vector and matrices in R in a very fast way. I will just pass this one, and I would like to give spend some time here algebraic operation on R for vectors and matrices, because these are very much helpful in graphics. So that's why I'm giving importance of this one. And different kind of algebraic operation you can perform in R with the over vectors and matrices. If you understand this one, then you will be very good in plotting and coding as well. And after that, what I will discuss to create a function in R. Creation of a function everywhere it is same, but here also in R we will create a we will discuss about how to create a function. Then I will go to discuss about 2D and 3D plot. So here in other command I am coming to discuss about, it is talking about R combining row and combining column. So using C bind you can combine any two columns. So if you are combining any two columns, you will get a matrix. This kind of matrix you will get. If same on the same vector, this vector is having 6 entry, u is having 6 entry, and v is having 6 entry. If you are willing to combine these two row wise, then you can use R bind. So it will give a matrix like this way, 2 by 6 matrix it will give. It will command. So here entry out, how entry it will be enter into that R, it will go row wise. First row will come, then second row will come. Here row wise entry is happening due to R bind, and in C bind, at column bind, it is happening column. That is first column will enter first, and then second column will come. Now, apart from that, you can take out entries from the given vector or matrix by using this command. This command, these are especially meant to extract element from the given vector, and similar kind of command you can use for matrices as well. Likewise, you are creating a vector x uh, using this sequence starting from 2 to 0 with common difference 2, then you will get this kind of vector. This vector you are getting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Now, suppose you want to extract the entry at fifth position. Just put x5. It will give at fifth position what kind of entry you are having? 10. So you will get this. So these are simple command, very simple command. Also, what you do, this command -5, it says that uh, just you have to take out every entry except the entry which is in fifth place. So in fifth place you observe 10. So this command will take out every entry except the fifth position entry. 10, it is not taking out 10. So this kind of there are several application of this kind of command. You can go for that. So directly I'm coming to algebraic operation on vectors and matrices in R. What are those? So very simplest, if you these are happening always, and due to these kind of component wise addition and multiplication, it create a problem and it create error. You will not get your desired result. So you need to understand every algebraic operation. So first I am talking about component wise addition and multiplication. So to add and multiply matrices or vector element wise or entry wise or component wise, we are using very simple that usual addition operation for component wise addition. That means entry at first place, it will be added to entry of second first place of the second vector. So likewise, component wise addition is happening component wise. And here multiplication also it will talk about component wise multiplication of the entries of two different rows or two different vector or two different matrices. Here I have taken two matrices A entry. All these whatever command I have taken in this tutorial, I have already run those commands there in my R here in my laptop. I have already run, so I have. It is not like that I have taken somewhere else. I have taken this snapshot from uh, my system itself by running this. So take two matrix. This one is 3 by 3, A is 3 by 3 matrix having entries like 1 to 5, then 11 to 14. So this kind. So you remember that this one is talking about a combination of it is you can call it, it is a vector. It is giving a vector. So how many entries are there? There would be 9 entries, and this vector is very a specific kind of vector. It is written here. It is talking about combining of two sequence. One sequence is moving from 1 2 3 4 5, and another sequence is coming here 11 12 13 and 14. Four member here coming here. So it is a what a juxtaposition of two vector itself, and in order to that we are making a 9-dimensional vector. So this is the A I have created like this way. And second, take matrix B, where directly you use sequence 1 to 9, 9 element of sequence. It will come in 3 by 3 matrix. You will get this matrix B. So output of matrix B is already given here. Now what you do, if you are willing to add these two matrix, then component wise addition will happen. And I had already mentioned that unless you mention here a logical operator that you are willing to uh, enter the entry row wise, then it will happen. Otherwise by default matrix, this matrix is already our defined command. So due to this, what is happening, so entry will enter column wise. So first this entry will come. You can observe that here. So 1 2 3, it is exhausted. First row is finished, because it is already dependent. It must have 0. Then second column will, so entry is happening like this way. First column will come, then second column will come, then third column will come, like this. So it is by default mentioned. If you want to change to row wise, then you have to bring a logical operator that by row equal to true. So that will give a row wise entries that I had already explained. Similarly here entry of second matrix is coming row wise. Now if we are talking about addition of these two matrices, so first condition from linear algebra, you know that matrix must be of the same order, then you can add. So that one is a compatibility of addition of two matrix. So here, so this entry, it will be added with this entry, first entry of the matrix B, then you are getting 2. So here see, addition happens element entry wise or component wise, and there 2 plus 2 4. Likewise, like if you take a last element of this one 14 plus 9, you will get 23. Likewise, if you do multiplication of two matrix, then it will not talk about multiplication of two matrix. It will give element wise multiplication of two matrix, element wise multiplication. So here you can observe that 1 time 1 equal to 1, this one time this one. So it is just behaving like addition of two matrices. So this kind of structure is not valid in linear in R. So it will give a wrong result. It will not give a matrix desired, that if you multiply two matrix, then what matrix you will get. It will not give A into B. It is different other than A into B. So if you use A star B, so it is not equal to this A into B. It is not. So why? Because there you have to use different operator. There is a concept of inner product or dot product operation, but this one is not inner product. It is a scalar element wise multiplication. So that's why I'm coming with a new type of operation that we are calling it inner product. And with the help of inner product, we can do matrix multiplication. So what is the operation of inner product? Operation of inner product is you have to put asterisk between those these two remainder sign. So consider even it also it is giving inner product of two vector as well. So consider one vector, it is taking entry like this way, another vector is this way. So what you do? So I had already given meaning of this remainder sign. It is talking about remainder. If you apply this over these two matrix, then these two vector, then it will. That means you are dividing entries of uh, first row, first vector with entries of second vector, and in that process what remainder you will get, it is coming as output. So if you divide 1 by 1, remainder 0. Similarly second entry output of first what would be 1. So here I have already written. So if you divide 1 by 1, so what would be remainder? 0. If you divide 2 by 2, 2 remainder would be 0.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, will you please explain again that what is that 1:5, 12:15?
1:5. It is sequence operation. 1:5 means it is taking entries starting from 1. 1 is the starting point and 5 is the ending point. And by default, you haven't mentioned any common difference, so it will take common difference 1. So it will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 5. Now, after that, you are taking one more sequence 12, 12 to 15. So for the second one, and C is meant for what is the full form of C? C is having two full form in R. One is some in layman way we are calling it combined, and actually it meaning of this one is concatenation. It concatenation. So it is bring all together. So 5 entry it is coming due to this operation. Okay. Now next 4 entry it will come due to this operation. This one is sequence operation. So there are variety of way to write a sequence. 12 first in starting second sequence starting is 12, then 13, then last one is it is going up to 15, 14, and then 16. 4 entries are there. Like this way it is coming. So it might be your doubt might be clear already. Is it fine?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. This
Sir,
operation.
how to
How to?
hello,
Yes, yeah, I'm listening
sir.
you.
If you want to change from one row to another row, so how to do that?
Change one row to another row. That means
Means
you are
like
talking
we
about
want to create a matrix.
elementary row operation.
No, sir.
Yes.
Means like I want to create a matrix which has two rows. So how to do that?
Two rows. It is very so matrix only two rows. So here matrix command is there. For that matrix command, it depends what is happening. You have to understand syntax of what is. I'm not going actually. This one is linear algebra class, so I'm not going in detail of all these operations. So here in matrix, you can observe that. So here this here whatever coming first argument of this matrix is a R function. Even it is applicable everywhere, MATLAB and other things. So it is calling it argument, first argument. It is talking about what entry you want to see in the matrix. Now then second entry is coming. Second entry is what? It is talking about number of rows, how many rows you want. So 3 is here number of rows. First row, second row, then third row. So by default,
Okay, sir. Okay.
if you are not mentioning anything, then by default uh, row will be decided by in the last class tutorial class I had already mentioned that row and column will be decided by number existing here. How many what is the vector size that will be decided, that will decide number of rows here. And here this one is row and this one is size of column. So in last tutorial you can check that I had already mentioned those kind of things. Okay. So now here I am talking about matrix multiplication. So this one is the, so we are taking two matrix and A and B. So output of these two matrices are here. You can observe that how you can get output just putting A. First define A. A is defined by this assignment sign, and we had already defined. So we got A and B, and this one is talking about matrix multiplication. That means we are putting this multiplication or asterisk sign between these two remainder sign, and then you will get it is talking about multiplication of matrix. What does it means that it is just a extension of inner product. So matrix multiplication, if you talk about, so matrix multiplication is inner product. So that's way that if you are taking a matrix A, so here first and matrix B second. So what you will do? So element in matrix A, you will put element, you will consider entries row wise. So this one is, suppose it is 3 by 3 matrix here. So first row will come here. This one is second row, and this one is the third row. And the second matrix that we are calling it post matrix, we will keep element column wise. First column, second column, and third column. That's where what we do now dot product R1 dimension. You remember that dimension of for matrix compatibility, dimension of row must be equal to dimension of column. So take dot product of this one, you will get this entry. Then take dot product of row 1 with second column, you would get this entry. And likewise take a dot product of first row with the third column, you will get this entry. Likewise, start with R2, take a dot product of R2 with first row column of the second matrix, you will get this entry. Take dot product of R2 with second column of this matrix, you will get this entry. Likewise, it is a dot product of R3 with C3. So you will get actually matrix multiplication is carried out as a inner product of rows and column of the corresponding matrices. So it is the idea. So you have to understand how these things are happening, and this one is, so never do for matrix multiplication, never do this kind of thing, A asterisk B. It will give a wrong result. It will give just element wise multiplication of the matrices. So it is a never do this thing. In addition, that one is feasible, but in multiplication, this operation is not feasible. You have to start with this inner product operation. Then I will talk about outer product operation as well. So outer product operation here. Before that, I would like to discuss about cross product. So don't confuse this cross product function with cross product of vector, what you had already studied in vector algebra. So it is not talking about that. Here it is talking about cross product of two matrices. So matrices in sense that suppose you are having a matrix A and matrix B. Then what is the cross product of this matrix? Cross product of this matrix is saying it is directly coming from linear algebra, and from in regression and other kind of things, you always need to proceed with this thing in order to calculate covariance matrix. So here you have to take a product of A transpose B. So transpose thing is coming. So transpose word has been written as a cross product. So this kind of product we are calling it cross product. Cross product is A transpose B. So in statistics, if you are having a matrix X, then if you define a new matrix with respect to X matrix, X transpose X, this we refer as a cross product. A cross product, and based on this R function has been defined. That R function we are calling it cross product. It is talking about, if you simply we put here a cross argument, a matrix. In the cross product argument, if you put a matrix, it means that it is talking about X transpose X. If you put two arguments like X and Y under a cross product, then you will get what it is talking about. First entry is coming transpose of first entry. That means it is coming crosswise and times Y. I had already mentioned that capital thing will denote matrices, capital alphabet, it will denote matrices. So we are here, we have taken two matrices, matrix A, and we have taken only one matrices. So just apply the user defined function that uh, cross product, you will get this is the value of A transpose A. Similar product, I have taken it from inner product operation. So what you do, T of A, it is talking about transpose F A. So transpose operation in R is just T of A. If you are going MATLAB, then transpose operation is similar, I think. It is just A dash. This operation is working as a transpose operation in MATLAB, but in R it is just T of A. T, if you are finding T of A, so if you multiply the matrix T of A, that means transpose of A with A itself through this inner product, then you will get this result. So you can see that both are matching with each other. So it is very a special kind of user, a special kind of defined function in R. This one is the benefit of R, that you are getting extra function, and this one is just as usual. Apart from this, what you do, you all might have already gone through controlling kind of or looping kind of expression as well. So same multiplication of matrix also you can carry out with the help of looping as well. So as a practice purpose, you can do that as well in order to verify this result. So now here we are taking another matrix B, and here if you do cross product, and here cross product result is giving, that means A transpose B. Cross product means of two matrices means A transpose B here, and same result you can carry out usual inner product operation. So both results are matching, so there is no difference. Just the second operation I have taken here just for the sake of validating this result. Whether what is meaning of this one cross product? So meaning is that it's talking about A transpose B. Now if you take vector A and vector B, so this cross product is giving another way to find inner product of two vectors. So through cross product, so that's why I had mentioned that this cross product is not for vector. It is not for vector. So if you apply cross product over vectors, vector happens to be matrices as well. It would be n by 1 matrix or 1 by n matrix. If row, it is row, then 1 by if it is column, then n by 1, or it is row 1 by n kind of matrices. It happens. So it is so vector happens to be considered as a matrix, then you can apply cross product, you will get a inner product value. So same inner product value you can get using this inner product operation. This is the inner product operation. You can check that both value are matching. So it is simply talking about, what does it mean? It is talking about A transpose. So cross product means it is talking about A cross product operation. It is talking about A transpose A, A transpose B, and A transpose B. I had already mentioned that it is another definition of inner product in linear algebra. In linear algebra, we will not go for this kind of inner product definition. We are always going for A transpose B kind of definition of inner product. So cross product, due to definition, it is coming like this way: A transpose B. That means first argument will be transposed and it will be multiplied with second element. It is meaning of this function. Now we will discuss about function, how to create function in R. So if you are in R, so few more terms object R objective. Before that, I should discuss about few more R objective. So how many R object we had already gone through? One, we have gone through vector. Then we have gone through matrices. Then here list is coming. One is list. List is also one argument. It is similar to vector, but it can entry in the list. Entry would be anything. It may be a scalar, it may be vector, it may be any R object. Even it may be list of itself. In vector, what is the entry? Entry happens to be number. So always it happens to be number A, B, or like 1, 2, 3. Always happens to be number kind of things. In matrices, it is also a number. But if you come in list entry may be anything. like that. There is one more R object, that one is data frame. You can go for that data frame as well, because you people are from EC, and data frame might be very applicable in image processing as well. So go for data frame kind of things. So it is giving more explicit representation of your problem in R. Data frame, data dot frame or data frame. These are very much essential to understand. So here one example of list I have taken. So here you can list under the list object that we are putting first argument as a vector. That means vector, what kind of vector it is? 1, 2, 3. Second argument is it is a word, true word. Third argument, hello, with inverted comma. With, and fourth argument is what? It is talking about again one more list. It is list of two vector, two quantity. One is 1, 2 vector, another one is just scalar 5. One dimensional vector means a scalar. So list argument may be anything, any R object. Anything means any R object, and that means a valid R expression in list. So here you can see that if you are asking to print the value of x, then it will come like this way. First argument is this one, second argument is this one, third argument is this one, fourth argument is this one, and the fifth argument is this one, like this way. Now I will talk about creating a function. So creating a function for R, we need to go for a proper syntax. So syntax is common everywhere. Syntax is that we need to define a uh, variable name for that R object we are creating function. So for that we need to give a variable name. So this is a name. Whatever name, it depends on you what kind of name you want to put. Function underscore name or something, whatever you want to put. Simply you can put a single name as well, single letter as well, just Y, Z or something like that. You are free to go with your choice. But here come, you are going to define function, so this term must come here. Function, then you have to consider argument. What kind of argument you are willing to take? Suppose you are going to define function of one variable, then there would be only one argument. By default, one variable in function of one variable, they are considering x as a argument. But if you are going for function of two variable, then you have to take two argument, x and y. Like a surface happens to be function of two variables, so that time in argument x comma y will come. Also, it is not, I have already mentioned that in here a expression may come. So like x square plus 1 or something like those kind of things may also come as an argument if you want to proceed in that perspective. Now after that argument, what curly bracket is coming, it will curly bracket is starting whatever a statement, uh, what kind of function you define, just you have to put that a statement here, a statement, or we are calling it main function body. So you have to put here, and then after that you have to close the bracket, curly bracket. You have to close the curly bracket. This is the way to generate a function in R. So here I have I would like to discuss that the reserved function here. If it is one kind of declaration of a function in R. It declares that we are going to define a function, and the statement which is within the curly bracket, it defines the body of the function. What kind of function you want to introduce? Like if you suppose you want to introduce a surface x square plus y square, then you have to put it to here under the curly bracket. And there is one more issue that if you are just having in a statement, there is only one statement, then you can avoid curly bracket as well. By default, it would be a statement will be taken there. But if you are having more than one statement or sentence, then that time you need to put curly bracket. It is essential. So function object is given by assigning its a variable name. So here we are assigning variable name. I had already mentioned that whatever name you want to put, you can put there. But remember that never put a name which is already user defined, sorry, R defined function, because it will create a problem in recalling that kind of function from R. So like plot, you should not create a object like plot. If you are recalling plot, If you are creating here, you are defining plot through this way, then giving giving plot name, then what will happen? Plot is already reserved for whatever you are defining here, and then this plot, it will not act for plotting function. When you will recall that you want to plot a function, that time what will happen? That plot command will consider this, not the already existing plot command in R. So always be remember that never give a variable name the name which is already existing in R, like plot, like curve, and many other kind of things. I will give you more example. So here I have taken one example. So suppose you are willing to create a power function. That means you want to create a power function in uh, R. So that means x to the power y. So this one is your defined function. Definitely power. It is not a R defined function. It is not existing R. So very fine. There would be no issue. Then you are calling it function, and argument is here both x and y. And under the after the argument in the function body, you are defining that this one you might be aware of that it is just for it is not a output, it will be not outputted, it is just for the remembering purpose. So you are defining here x to the power y, x to the power y. So power function you are defining, and in second sentence you are willing to print it. There is no hard bound to print it. So if this print command is giving your desired way, in which way you want to see your output. So that's why print command is giving. That means it is very much flexible according to your choice in which way you want to print your results. So that's why in that perspective print command is very helpful. Otherwise, by default, print command will just give output of this one. So here, this plot, this one is the main definition. If you try to put all these in R, then plus sign is these are just coming. It is talking about change of change of line. It is not these are not coming as a operation, these are talking about change of line. So same thing, if you put in R, if there is a change of line, then plus sign these things will come. And if you want to recall power function with x, first argument x, you are taking x equal to 2 and y equal to 4, then you will get your output. Your output would be 2 to the power 4, that means 16 you will get. So this is the way to create a function in R. Now plotting. So 2D plotting, it looks very easy. I should not discuss 2D plotting. I am coming to 3D plotting. That one is important. That's where all those operations I discuss about. So in R, there is a very interesting kind of operation to go for 3D plot. That operation we are calling it perspective plot or perspective function. Perspective, which can be used to create 3D surfaces in perspective view. And this function mainly takes three variables. What are those variables? X, it is a dependent variable. Y, it is also sorry, X is an independent variable. Y is also independent, and Z is dependent variable. But here Z is what? Z happens to be a matrix kind of things. Matrix X and Y, they are taking value from x axis and y axis, and with, these are stored in Z as a matrix. So how we can do that? So here first we have to define we are taking a function, simple function. For example, we have taken a function, we want to create a circular cone x square plus y square. Z equal to x square plus y. We want to create this kind of thing. X square plus y square. Remember one thing, that what is outer product here. Now outer product will come into picture. So here I would like to, I have taken one example for outer product. So what is meaning of outer product of two vector? So if you are taking two vector like 1, 2, and do outer product of this one. This one is column vector, and take outer product of this one. That means it is not like it is reverse of that. It is talking about A into B transpose. this kind of product we are calling it outer product. You can call it is outer product of two vector A and B. So how it is defined? So here you observe that how it is different from inner product. It is different that we are taking transpose in second vector. So in that perspective, what is happen? A happens to be a column matrix, that is suppose it is a two by two matrix, two dimensional vector. So it would 2 by 1, and so B is a, we are taking it B transpose. So suppose B is a three vector having coordinate 3 and 4. So we have to do a transpose of this B. Then what would be order of this one? Order would be 1 by 2. So outer product of two vector is giving a matrix. Remember that. That is the bit. It is not giving a scalar, it is giving a matrix. So if you want to do outer product of 1, 2, and 3, 4, then what would be outer product of these two vectors? So just do matrix multiplication. 1 times 3 first row, 1 times 3 would be 3. Then first column is finished. 1 times 4 is 4. Then 2 times 3 is 6. And 2 times 8. So this is the outer product of two vectors. You can observe that this is the, so outer product of two vector, you are getting a matrix. So this is the idea for 2D plot. But if you are in 3D plot, so what is the outer product of three vector? If you are taking three vector and you want to do a outer product, then three vector, outer product of three vector will give a matrices in 3D. So that's why you are getting a this matrices plot in 3D. So one example, very simple. So X, it is taking value from the sequence -1 to 1 with length 3. That means X is taking 3 value, -1, 0, 1. And similarly, Y is also taking -1, 0, and 1. So these are the value of X and Y. That means X is also 3 dimensions. It is having 3 entry. Y along x-axis. Y is also having 3 entry along y-axis, like this. This plot you can observe like this. This one is x-axis, this one is y-axis, and this is your cone. You will define here cone. That cone is what? It is defined as x square. That means your function of two variable function approach, your surface, x square plus y square, cone direction. Now what you do? So along x you have taken 3 value. So you have taken 0, go inside, -1 and 1. Similarly for y you have taken 3 value, -1, 0 and 1. Sorry, -1, 0 and 1. Okay, fine. So now what with respect to this, so you can say that you do this kind of partition. So if you take outer product of x and y, then you will get matrix. And if you take outer product of three vectors, then you will get a cube kind of a structure. So outer product of this structure, it is giving, you can stress like this way. So it is giving a matrix kind of, it is a 2D, two-dimensional object, and matrix is a two-dimensional object. You can observe that, like this kind of a structure. You observe that. So you can at this point, these are the corresponding association of x and y joint if you are taking. So what is the meaning of this point? This point is talking about 0, 0. This point is talking about what? It is talking about 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. You can understand this plot. Okay, fine. Now after that, what you do? You also take outer product with cone itself. Then what will happen? So it will go up. you will get a cube structure. It is the idea of cube structure. It will go something like up to this kind of a structure you are getting. So what you do, you have to, this is the outer product of 3 vector cube structure you are getting. So this value you can observe that. So these are the values. So 9, total 9. How many? So you can fill up all these value there, and you will get to know what is the meaning of those. So through that you have to take your outer product and many value. If you are taking length of the x up to 20 and y, then it would be 20 by 20 by 20, very big. Right now it is just 3. If you are taking 3 element, then it is a cube of 3 by 3 by 3. That means total 9 element would be there. 9. But if you are taking 20 value of x, then here this cube will be of size 20 by 20 by 20. A very big size matrix. Total values. I am talking about the total entries perspective. Now you do what one thing in the cube, you will get this kind of a structure. So use this command, perspective command, with x, y, z. It will, what it will do, it will join the all points on that cube. So after joining, you will get the structure of your surface. It is just I told that it is just finding matrices and cube kind of a structure, and there you do joining. So joining, it also again, it is very much by default this kind of joining is coming, line joining is coming. If you want to do joining through different color, different variety, then there are many command for that. You can go for that as well. So these are the way to plot 3D surface. Okay, it is already 45 minutes. So if you have any question, you can ask. Otherwise, I am going to wind up today's tutorial class. Further, if you have any doubt, then you can put your doubt there in Google Classroom as well.
So I have a doubt.
Yes.
So in MATLAB or R, when in question it say like make a vector, simply vector, then what vector should I make, like a row vector or column vector?
It is column vector. By default, I told that it happens to be a column vector. And make a vector is just, it is that one is an interesting question. That if you are going to image processing, then if you take a black and white image, what is that? Black and white image is a matrix. So there would be pixels. Entries of that image happens to be pixels of that image. So if you want to do a dot product or something like that, then you have to use word vectorize command, VEC. That command is also useful there here in R as well. So everywhere that command. So there are a common set of commands working everywhere. There is no issue. So that is the issue. And if you are taking a color image, then color image is not a matrix. It is a tensor. Because it will, in color image, you will get 3 layer, black, RGB. So red, green, and blue. So that one is tensor, something more than matrix. So those kind of things I will discuss because those are a little bit complicated. You need something more. When we will cover about singular value decomposition and other things, that time even I will give a demo in which you can reduce an image up to very few MB kind of things. Image, if you take from a camera, a simple camera, then definitely it is taking large space. It happens to be in very big MB or GB, something like that. But what you do for saving purpose, camera is also doing dimensity reduction. What is dimensity reduction? It is reducing the that size, file size. So that things we will discuss in there. That means it is pixel size. It is reducing pixel size as well. So those reduction. So you have to do reduction in such a way that you will not lose most of the information. It is all about reduction. You have to do dimensionality reduction. You have to do in such a way that you will still after reduction you will get most of the information from the given object. So that is the criteria of dimensionality reduction, and very interesting machine learning technique that we are calling it PCA, principal component analysis. It is nothing just finding eigenvectors, eigenvalue, eigenvectors. So those things I will discuss when I will cover eigenvalue, eigenvector, and other things. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And regarding attendance, I had already mentioned that